Hello, Robert Leitz, January 12th, 2009. I'd like to talk about the global economic crisis. In order to solve the global economic crisis, you're going to need a unification theory, okay? What does it all boil down to? Why is the economy failing? It's the chip, okay? All right? It all touches the chip. The chip came to us like Glenda Goodwitch, okay? Seems too good to be true. Probably is. The chip is really Kaiser Sose, okay? All right? That is what the chip does to the economy. If you start to wean society off the chip, okay, things will improve, okay? The chip, or the microchip, okay, it was intended for government, law enforcement, and hospitals, okay? In a house, you should have a TV, a land phone line, smoke alarm, and security, okay? You cannot trade with a country that manufactures products through the chip, and you cannot import chips, okay? Robotics, all right? The chip controls the robotics. That was the beginning of the downfall of the auto industry. They put too many people out of work. University, colleges, and schools, you have to be weaned off the chip, okay? Offices, businesses, I know you manufacture products, and you manufacture very, very good products, but you have to start to be weaned off the chip, okay? Cell phones are a real bad idea, okay? People shouldn't be able to communicate with each other. Well, what happens in the case of an emergency? Well, you're going to have to go back to the old-fashioned beeper where you beep the number and you go to the payphone, okay? And if you say, well, what happens in a real emergency? Well, we'll give your button a push and it'll trigger 911 and the cops will come to you, okay? But you can't communicate with other people. There is too much security. There's too much crimes going through the airwaves, okay? And you say, well, one bad crime, these are bad crimes. You can have 99 good things. Bernie Madoff, he wouldn't have been able to rip off the money if he didn't have the chip. Skilling, it funneled through the chip. The real estate loans, they all went through the chip, okay? The credit card crunch. Credit cards were good till we put the stripe on them. Then they got out of hand. Wall Street, the trades are going too fast. They have to be slowed down, okay? iPods, MP3s, they're putting the record industry out of business. I own iPods, I own DVD players, okay? But they're putting the movie companies out of business. They're putting the record companies out of business. You got computer games, Xbox, we got cameras, we got answering machines. One of the biggest mistakes that ever occurred is when they broke up the phone company, okay? I was not exactly a fan of Ma Bell, but that was the smartest. We should have kept the phone company. Breaking it up, that was the beginning of the end, okay? Well, actually, the beginning of the end was when they came up with the robotics, okay? Arnie Schwarzenegger, okay? You want to see how life imitates art? Arnie's out in California. He's yelling, I need $600 billion, okay? He starred in the movie The Terminator, okay, where he says Skynet took over, and Arnie, Skynet took over your state, okay? If it wasn't for the microchip, which was probably made in California, that's Silicon Valley, okay? That is the illegal immigration, okay? You're talking about illegal immigration? It's the chip, okay? Please, just apply the thing that you were taught to not trust people or whatnot. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, okay? This is how the chip first appeared to us, okay? It kept all kinds of memory. We got free movies, we got free music, We got answering machine. I could buy a thing now for 19 bucks. I could call all year or something like that, all over the world. We don't need a server. We need a service, okay? They're going to create, I got to keep an eye on the clock. They're going to create road jobs and stuff like that. I did that work, okay? It's not fun work. Mixed a lot of concrete, worked backhoes, stuff like that. Okay, I'd sooner be keeping records in an office. You're going to have to go back to the old-fashioned way of production, okay? It might not have been as perfect as what we have now, okay? But it's good enough, okay? Records were pretty good, okay? If you want an MP3, the chip is going to have places. You're going to have a chip center. You're going to have to pay, or a computer center. You're going to have to pay 8 to 10 bucks an hour to work on the computer, okay? And that'll cover security within the place. It's like a casino. A casino, Vegas, Atlantic City, they were designed for the chip, okay? When you start texting messages, now they're coming out with something where you're going to put it on here, okay? What are you going to do? You're going to be waiting for a bus and watching a little TV. It's just, you're putting, and you're communicating it. There's too many crimes that are linked somehow through the chip, and they're big crimes. They're hurting people like crazy. There would have been no Bernie Madoff thing. There would have been no skilling. Chances are the Twin Towers would still be standing. There would still be jobs, okay? This chip is very, very sneaky, okay? Comes like Glenda, okay? But it's really Kaiser. And it will make a chump out of you. The same way Mike will make a chump out of you if you get in the ring with Mike, okay? It's not a good idea, okay? Like I said, the chip should be used in government, law enforcement, hospitals. When people start communicating between each other, it starts out good, but it don't wind up so good, okay? That should be pretty close to 10 minutes. There's more I'd like to talk about, but they only give me 10 minutes on YouTube. I'm not disrespecting you, YouTube, neither. You've been very good to me, okay? But I gotta speak what I feel is true, okay? If you wean society slowly off the chip, okay, things will get better. I promise you that. Thank you. Robert Leitz, signing off.